Welcome to Man Up Your Meal, where I'm going to show you how to amp up that man factor in anything you eat. Today, we're going to tackle football food. Football season is just starting up, and one of my favorite things to eat during games, nachos. Nachos are the perfect meal because they're crunchy, they're salty, they're cheesy. They are fan-freaking-tastic. Now, when you're watching the game, you don't want to have just cheese nachos, right? I'm going to show you how to amp them up and spice them up. They're so delicious. Now, just a warning, the heat factor in these nachos is going to be pretty insane. So, got my trusty sweatband on here. Think we're ready to make some nachos. All right, so first things first, what's going to set your nachos apart from all the other guys? This part. So we're going to start off with a pound of ground beef. Just going to ground it up in a pan with a little bit of olive oil and cook it through. Then we're going to add the magic sauce. Do you guys remember Sloppy Joe's? Manwich is what makes this so damn fantastic. So we're going to add the manwich sauce, stir it around with the meat a little bit, and we're going to have ourselves a pretty crazy dip going on. All right, so just put the meat on the stove. It's going to take a few minutes to completely cook through and simmer with that delicious manwich sauce. So while we're waiting, we're going to get started on the main ingredient, the nachos. I'm so excited for this part. Now, I'm going to throw you guys a curveball. I'm very picky about my chip choice. Today, I'm going for the scoops. Now, usually I like to go completely traditional with my nachos. I like the flatter chips. But today, because we have the crazy delicious side dip, I'm going for the scoops because you get more dip in those guys. So we're starting with these scoops. Have my pan right here. Just gonna pour the entire bag. Chips are pretty damn loud. All right, have all these nachos in here. They're not nachos yet, actually. They're just chips. All right, so then I'm gonna go for my cheese. Where the hell did my cheese go? Oh, here we go. I'm also pretty picky about my cheese. I don't like going for just one kind. Cheddar would usually be my go-to. But today I'm going for the 4-cheese Mexican. You get a little variety in there, a little bit more flavor. So you guys are probably pretty familiar with this step. All you're going to do, take a huge handful of cheese, sprinkle it over these babies, these scoops. Now we're going to use the entire package. We want it to be extra cheesy. So I promised you guys I'd make these nachos super hot, super insane. This is a step where the magic happens. So I came across these guys at the store earlier. Jalapeno peppers. I am pretty excited because this is going to amp up the heat factor so much. Actually, the guy at the grocery store told me I need to wear gloves while cutting these guys. It's a little terrifying to hear. I'm not going to wear gloves, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so when you're cutting a pepper, all you have to do is cut off the top, the stem, like so. We're going to cut this in half. And these peppers, like all peppers, have seeds inside them. All we have to do is core them with our knife, if that's the right word. Just going to take them out, scrape them out, if you will. Scrape out these babies. So we have 2 halves to a jalapeno pepper. And I can already feel the fumes going into my eyes. So we are taking our 2 halves and we're going to dice them. For all you non-cooks out there, all that means is cut this jalapeno pepper up into really tiny pieces. Because a little goes a long way, let me tell you. All right, so we are dicing up the jalapeno. And we have our nachos right here, ready to be sprinkled with hot lovin' from the jalapeno. We have our jalapeno here. We're going to just put it all over our cheesy nachos. They're going to be so delicious. And now, depending on how hot you want them, obviously you can vary how much you're going to put on. I'm going to put on all of them because I am tough. We'll see how tough I am when I actually try these guys. All right, so here we go. We have jalapeno and cheese deliciousness ready to be set in the oven. We're gonna put it under the broiler so the cheese gets a little bit crispy and it's gonna melt probably for about 5 minutes, but definitely keep an eye on it. So into the oven it goes. So while our nachos are broiling in the oven, getting super cheesy and delicious, I just took off the manwich off the stove. I'm gonna put it in a bowl here. All right. Ooh, it smells good. Smells like Sloppy Joe heaven. All right. Here, you have to check this out. Whew. Looks pretty disgusting, but it's gonna be good. So we have our Sloppy Joe mix here, and now it's just time to wait. We're gonna wait for these nachos in the oven. All right, so the nachos have been in the oven for about 3-4 minutes. I can smell the cheesy goodness, the jalapeno. It's time to take them out of the oven. Let's see what we've got here. Woo! Check that out. Oh, the cheese, the jalapeno looks so good. All right, so, oh my goodness. It just is so melty and cheesy. Here we go. Check that out. It is like a match made in football food heaven. The time has come for my favorite part, the taste test. All right, so I'm gonna go for obviously the cheesiest scoop. And at this point, you're gonna be pretty thankful that you went for the scoop because you're gonna be able to get more of that Sloppy Joe mix in here. So I'm gonna go for this one right here. Lots of cheese, a little jalapeno. Dip this baby in. I think I'm gonna go for the whole mouth thing. One bite. Ready? I wasn't expecting anything less. These are so good. Bite size, little kick to it. Woo! I can taste that spice. All right. So while I was waiting for these guys to broil in the oven, I had a brilliant plan. I'm a spice girl. Love spicy things. I thought it would be great to add some hot sauce to the manwich. So obviously, depending on your spicy tolerance, your hot food tolerance, you can vary how much you put in. Let's see how this is. Gonna go for a cheesy one. Do a little scoop. Cheers. So good. Woo! That hot sauce adds the perfect amount of kick to that dip. So there you go. This is how you amp up your nachos for your next football party. You add the jalapenos, lots of cheese, get the scoops, and then you can have the side dip of the manwich with a little bit of hot sauce if you want. I'm telling you, people are going to be so impressed. Amp up that man factor. That's how you man up your nachos for your next football party.